What if I told you that your success, your peace, and your growth are not just determined by what you do, but by the people you choose to surround yourself with? Think about it. Our lives are shaped by the relationships we foster. And in a world full of choices, it's crucial to recognize the types of people that can undermine our potential. But here's the truth. Not all relationships are worth your time, your energy, or your trust. So, how do we identify who we should trust and who we should avoid? It all begins with understanding the three types of people you should never trust, because they won't just hold you back, they'll rob you of your future. Let's dive into it. This intro sets the stage with a thought-provoking question and emphasizes the importance of choosing the right people. Aligning with Simon Sinek's style of engaging the audience to reflect on their choices, a manipulator is someone who seeks to control or influence others to their own advantage, often without regard for the well-being or interests of others. They use subtle tactics, such as guilt-tripping, emotional blackmail, or exploiting others' insecurities to gain power in relationships or situations. Their primary goal is not collaboration or mutual benefit, but rather to steer situations in their favor while keeping their true intentions hidden. They excel at playing on your emotions, making you feel responsible for their problems or actions, even when it's not your fault. Manipulators often disguise their behavior as concern, care, or support, making it difficult to detect their true motivations until it's too late. They will make you doubt your instincts, question your reality, and question your worth, all for their personal gain. One of the most dangerous traits of a manipulator is their ability to make you feel as though you owe them something. They will often do something for you with the unspoken expectation of something in return, but it's never clear what the something is until you're already entangled. They may use kindness as a tool for control, offering something only to make you feel obligated, or they may take advantage of your vulnerabilities to steer you into decisions you wouldn't normally make. Over time, their behavior can erode your confidence, leaving you feeling confused, frustrated, and isolated. It's important to recognize that manipulators rarely show genuine care or concern. Their relationship with you is transactional, and as soon as they no longer need you, they will move on or discard you without hesitation. Recognizing their patterns early on is key to avoiding long-term damage. An energy vampire is someone who drains your emotional and mental resources, leaving you feeling exhausted and depleted after every interaction. These individuals often thrive on negativity, constantly seeking attention and sympathy, while offering little to no positivity or support in return. They are usually consumed by their own problems or crises, and they tend to focus conversations on their issues without showing interest in yours. When you're around them, you may feel like you're always giving, whether it's listening to their complaints, offering advice, or providing emotional support, but you rarely receive the same in return. What sets energy vampires apart is their ability to drain you without being overtly malicious. They may not intend to harm you, but their constant need for validation, affirmation, and support can be overwhelming. Over time, this can lead to a sense of emotional burnout. The more time you spend with them, the less energy you have for other relationships or activities that actually nourish your well-being. They may not even recognize the toll they take on you, as they are often so focused on their own struggles that they overlook the impact of their behavior on others. And energy vampires are often skilled at manipulating situations to make you feel guilty for not being there for them enough. If you try to set boundaries, they may guilt trip you or make you feel selfish further reinforcing the cycle of emotional exhaustion. It's essential to recognize when a person is consistently draining your energy, as these relationships can hinder your personal growth and happiness. By distancing yourself from energy vampires, you protect your emotional health and create space for more fulfilling, balanced connections. The chronic liar is someone who habitually fabricates stories, exaggerates the truth, or completely distorts reality to suit their needs. These individuals often lie about anything and everything, regardless of the significance, making it difficult to trust anything they say. Their lies can range from small, seemingly insignificant details to large, life-altering deceptions. But the underlying motive is always the same: to manipulate a situation for personal benefit. It's incredible how often this works. How many of you walk into a room? What makes a chronic liar particularly dangerous is their ability to weave a complex web of falsehoods, leaving you unsure of what is real and what is not. Over time, this constant dishonesty can erode trust and create confusion, making it challenging to discern their true character. One of the most unsettling aspects of a chronic liar is their ability to lie with conviction. They often deliver their falsehoods with such confidence that it can be difficult to catch them in the act. They may even attempt to gaslight you, making you question your memory or perception of events, which can undermine your own sense of reality. As a result, dealing with a chronic liar can lead to emotional distress as you begin to doubt your instincts and question the authenticity of your interactions with them. Another hallmark of chronic liars is their ability to manipulate others through their lies. They may use deception to gain power, avoid responsibility, or escape the consequences of their actions. While it may seem harmless at first, these lies accumulate over time, and the damage caused by their falsehoods can be far-reaching. The more you allow a chronic liar into your life, the more difficult it becomes to trust anyone or anything, as their deception spreads like a contagion. A jealous competitor is someone who views every situation as a contest and is constantly comparing themselves to others. They thrive on competition, but not in a healthy or constructive way. Instead, their focus is on outshining, undermining, or sabotaging those around them in order to feel superior. They may not celebrate your successes or even acknowledge your achievements. Instead, they'll downplay your accomplishments or try to overshadow them with their own. Their jealousy manifests as a need to be the best at any cost, and they will often seek to diminish your value to elevate their own. A jealous competitor might seem supportive at first, but over time, their actions will reveal a pattern of undermining behavior. They may subtly criticize your ideas, take credit for your work, or engage in passive-aggressive tactics to discredit you. They may also try to isolate you from key opportunities or colleagues in an attempt to limit your growth. Their behavior is rooted in insecurity, but their actions can make you feel anxious, unappreciated, and constantly on edge. The jealousy they harbor can cloud their judgment and prevent them from forming genuine, collaborative relationships. Being around a jealous competitor can have a negative impact on your self-esteem. They often make you feel like you're never doing enough or achieving enough, constantly pushing you to compete at a level that leaves you feeling drained and unfulfilled. They might even go as far as using your personal insecurities against you to manipulate or control you. Recognizing these signs early on and distancing yourself from these individuals is key to protecting your mental and emotional well-being, as their envy-driven behavior will only hinder your progress. The victim mentality holder is someone who consistently views themselves as a victim of circumstances, blaming external factors or other people for their problems, rather than taking responsibility for their own actions or decisions. This type of person often feels helpless, powerless, and perpetually caught in a cycle of self-pity. They rarely take ownership of their situation, instead pointing fingers and expecting others to solve their problems. While everyone experiences hardship from time to time, the victim mentality holder refuses to acknowledge their role in their struggles, often ignoring opportunities for growth or change. One of the most damaging aspects of the victim mentality is the inability or unwillingness to move forward. Rather than taking proactive steps to improve their life, the victim mentality holder stays stuck in their narrative of misfortune, allowing it to define their identity. This constant focus on external blame keeps them from developing resilience, learning from mistakes, or taking control of their own destiny. They often believe that life is out to get them, which can breed bitterness, anger, and frustration. Being around a person with a victim mentality can be draining, as they often seek validation and sympathy, demanding attention and support without offering anything in return. Their constant complaining and negative outlook can bring down the energy in any environment, preventing you from making progress or finding solutions. If you try to offer help or advice, they may reject it, as they are not interested in solutions, only in receiving sympathy. Over time, this behavior can lead to resentment, as the relationship becomes one-sided and emotionally taxing. The one who never takes responsibility is someone who consistently avoids accountability for their actions, deflecting blame onto others or external circumstances whenever things go wrong. They refuse to own up to their mistakes, and instead they find ways to justify their behavior or point fingers at anyone or anything else. This individual rarely learns from their errors because they are not willing to admit that they made a misstep in the first place. When faced with challenges or negative outcomes, they will always offer excuses, making it nearly impossible to have an honest or constructive conversation about the issue at hand. In relationships, this lack of responsibility can be incredibly damaging. A person who never takes responsibility often fails to follow through on promises, commitments, or obligations, leaving others to pick up the slack. Their refusal to acknowledge their role in a situation can create tension and frustration, as others may feel like they're shouldering more than their fair share. This can lead to feelings of resentment, as the person avoids accountability while others are left cleaning up the mess. Their behavior can also be manipulative, as they may gaslight others into believing that the problem was never theirs to begin with. By constantly shifting the blame, they avoid any consequences for their actions, preventing growth or change. The longer you allow someone who never takes responsibility to be a part of your life, the more their behavior can undermine your own progress and well-being. In addition, it's crucial to recognize this pattern and set boundaries, as their lack of accountability can keep you trapped in cycles of frustration and disappointment. The gossip is someone who thrives on spreading rumors, secrets, or misinformation, often with the intent to damage reputations or create drama. This individual rarely focuses on the facts, instead twisting or embellishing stories to entertain themselves or gain attention. The gossip often seeks to engage others in conversations about people who are not present, planting seeds of doubt, distrust, or animosity. They may pass off their behavior as harmless or as just talking, but their words can have far-reaching consequences. What might start as innocent chatter can quickly escalate into a full-blown conflict, with feelings hurt and relationships damaged in the process. One of the most damaging traits of a gossip is their lack of discretion. They often fail to understand the impact their words have on others, sharing private information or personal details without regard for the consequences. This behavior can create a toxic environment where trust is eroded and people become wary of opening up to anyone. Over time, a gossip's actions can lead to a lack of genuine connection, as others begin to view every conversation with suspicion, wondering if their words will be shared or twisted. Being around a gossip can make you feel constantly exposed, as you worry about what might be said behind your back. Their behavior can also cause division within groups or workplaces, as people start to take sides or avoid certain individuals out of fear of being the subject of gossip. The best way to protect yourself from a gossip is to limit your interactions with them and avoid contributing to their harmful behavior. Instead of trying to make them stop gossiping, the constantly negative thinker is someone who sees the world through a lens of pessimism and doubt, consistently focusing on what could go wrong rather than what could go right. No matter the situation, they always anticipate the worst outcome, and their perspective often clouds their ability to see opportunities or solutions. This type of person tends to dwell on problems instead of embracing possibilities, often making everything seem more challenging or insurmountable than it truly is. Their mindset is rooted in fear, and they often discourage others from taking risks or pursuing new ventures because they project their own anxiety and doubts onto them. Being around a constantly negative thinker can be emotionally exhausting, as their mindset can be contagious. If you're constantly exposed to their negative energy, it can make it harder to stay positive or motivated, even in situations where optimism is warranted. Their tendency to focus on obstacles instead of solutions can create a sense of hopelessness, leaving you feeling discouraged or stuck. Moreover, they may criticize or belittle your ideas, dismissing any potential for success by reminding you of past failures or highlighting reasons why something won't work. While it's natural for everyone to have moments of doubt or concern, the constantly negative thinker operates in a perpetual state of negativity, which can weigh down relationships and hinder personal growth. Their approach to life can stifle creativity, collaboration, and progress, as they are more inclined to point out problems than to work towards resolutions. Being in close proximity to this type of thinker can impede your ability to see the bright side of situations and limit your own potential. Easer is someone who forms relationships based on what they can gain from others, often taking advantage of people without offering anything in return. They have a transactional approach to relationships, seeing others as tools or resources to fulfill their own needs, desires, or ambitions. Users often appear charming, helpful, or friendly at first, making it difficult to recognize their true intentions. However, once they've received what they want, they may disappear or show little regard for the person they've used, leaving them feeling unappreciated and taken for granted. This type of individual may ask for favors, loans, or emotional support with no intention of reciprocating. They rarely offer help or support in return, and their contributions to the relationship are minimal, if any. They may also manipulate situations to make others feel obligated to assist them, often exploiting feelings of guilt or compassion. Over time, the person being used may begin to feel drained, as their time, energy, and resources are continually consumed without any meaningful return. And so the user's behavior is usually subtle, but can become more blatant as their sense of entitlement grows. They may push boundaries or demand more than is reasonable, testing how far they can go without facing any consequences. It's crucial to recognize this pattern early, as their manipulative behavior can lead to emotional exhaustion, damaged self-esteem, and a lack of trust in future relationships. Protecting yourself from a user involves setting clear boundaries, being mindful of your own needs, and not being afraid to walk away from relationships that feel one-sided or exploitative. The promise breaker is someone who consistently fails to keep their word, making promises that they have no intention of fulfilling, whether it's committing to a plan, offering help, or making long-term assurances. They rarely follow through. Their words may sound convincing in the moment, but their actions quickly show that their promises are empty. A promise breaker may give excuses, delay commitments, or simply ignore the agreement once it no longer benefits them. This behavior can be incredibly damaging because it creates an atmosphere of unreliability where trust is repeatedly violated. The promise breaker often fails to recognize the emotional toll their behavior takes on others. When they consistently break promises, it erodes confidence in their integrity and reliability. People around them may begin to feel uncertain or hesitant about making future plans or relying on them for support. What's more, the promise breaker may not always acknowledge the harm they've caused or apologize for their actions, making it even harder to trust them in the future. Over time, the cycle of broken promises can leave others feeling disappointed, frustrated, and disillusioned. In relationships, whether personal or professional, the promise breaker's actions create a toxic dynamic. They may manipulate others by offering promises they know they can't keep, keeping people in a state of hope or anticipation, only to disappoint them later. This undermines relationships and fosters an environment of resentment. Recognizing the behavior of a promise breaker early on can help prevent the emotional pain of broken trust and allow you to establish boundaries to protect your time, energy, and expectations. In conclusion, the people we choose to trust can significantly impact our emotional and mental well-being. The manipulators, energy vampires, chronic liars, jealous competitors, victim mentality holders, those who never take responsibility, gossipers, constantly negative thinkers, users, and promise breakers, each in their own way, can drain, deceive, and hinder us from living our best lives. Be alive, be excited, be happy, be helping others. Each in their own way can drain, deceive, and hinder us from living our best lives. They will slow our progress, damage our self-esteem, and leave us questioning ourselves and our relationships. There are several objections we hear in society around. However, by recognizing these toxic behaviors early and setting firm boundaries, we protect ourselves from falling into these destructive patterns. Trust is a precious resource, and it's up to us to ensure we give it to those who are deserving, those who will uplift and support us, not those who will exploit or manipulate us. Choosing to surround ourselves with people who embody integrity, respect, and authenticity not only fosters personal growth, but creates the space for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Let us remember that we have the power to control who we allow into our lives and the strength to walk away from those who no longer serve our highest good.